Good Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to July 1st, 2014. This is Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region. And of course, this week we're celebrating the 4th of July holiday week and weekend with the video forecast discussion. And we say, let freedom ring. The humid air mass is in place this morning across the entire region with some haze and high dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s. The air temperature is already in the 70s in many locations, and they'll be rising to around 90 or either side of 90 degrees during this afternoon, away from the water once again where sea breezes will develop. Morning Google Earth Streamline analysis shows our high pressure ridge well off the coast, Bermuda High pumping in a southerly flow of air. And this is our cold front back in through the Great Lakes region here. A couple of disturbances out ahead of it could produce some showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon over isolated interior sections north and west of New York City. We'll get into that in a moment. Down here off the coast of Florida, this has now been deemed Tropical Depression 1, which may become Tropical Storm Arthur over the next 24 hours. Allergy levels today right through Saturday will remain in the low to medium side, with grasses being the predominant pollen. For the aviational weather deck this morning, we have basically broken ceilings, a broken cirrus, and some cumulus developing later this morning into the afternoon. There is an isolated shower possible north and west of the region. Winds mostly south-southwest of 10 to 15 knots today. Tonight, an increase in moisture will result in some very visibilities being restricted overnight, with some mist or included in the TAFs following the latest guidance. Wednesday through Friday, MVFR to IFR conditions likely with periods of showers and drenching thunderstorms. Locally strong winds possible in showers and thunderstorms Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and evening. Coverage may become more numerous to widespread Thursday and Thursday night as the cold front stalls over the forecast region. And then Saturday and Sunday, VFR conditions expected. Right now, outside of Newark, it's 73 already. Dew point uncomfortable, 68. Humidity, 84%. The wind is southwest at 7. Broken ceilings is 6,000 and 25,000. There'll be some showers in the vicinity late this afternoon with the winds gusting out of the southwest at about 20 knots. And basically VFR conditions for today. For Philadelphia right now, 74 already. Dew point 66. Humidity, 76%. It's overcast with a southwest south wind at 6 knots. Broken ceilings at 12,000, overcast at 18,000, and basically VFR conditions expected in your region during today. Morning pass of the visible satellite this morning shows the cirrus overhead with broken ceilings across the region. It's a hazy, hot, and humid atmosphere in place. We had damaging wind gust and damaging windstorms across the Great Lakes and the Ohio River Valley. We can see some lifting on the water vapor this morning, and basically a stable atmosphere here for the Mid-Atlantic region. On the radar this morning, we can see a few showers and thunderstorms propagating eastward through the lower Great Lakes into the Ohio River Valley. This line here may become organized a little bit more with unstable mid-level and upper-level, mid-level and surface cape this afternoon. Convective available potential energy for a few showers and thunderstorms, but mainly this will be northwest of the region. The main rains will hold off until tomorrow. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We have coastal hazard statement for high rip current risk in effect from 2 p.m. this afternoon through this evening, and this is from the New York City office. This would be from Coney Island, the Rockaways, and points east to Fire Island. The rip current risk is high, surf height around building to 3 to 4 feet, lightning risk is none. The highest timing of this would be late this afternoon into the early evening hours. Remember, rip currents are powerful channels of water flowing quickly away from the shore, which could occur most often at low points or breaks in the sandbar and in the vicinity of structures such as groins, jetties, and piers. Talk to lifeguards and beach officials to learn more about the surf hazards and heed their advice. Pay attention to flags and posted signs and swim in lifeguarded areas. Remember, if you do become caught in a rip current, do not panic, remain calm, and begin to swim parallel to the shore. Once you are away from the force of the rip current, begin to swim back to the beach. Do not attempt to swim directly against the rip current. Even a strong swimmer can become exhausted very quickly. Other watches, warnings, and advisories this morning. We have a small craft advisory from 2 p.m. this afternoon to midnight tonight. The location will be across the New York Bight. Wind south at 15 to 20 knots, gust up to 25 knots, seas 3 to 4 feet. And this would be from mid-afternoon through the midnight hours. All eyes, of course, have been complicated with the Tropical Depression 1 forming over the southwest coast of Florida. In the Atlantic here late last night. It's still forecasted by all the model guidance to remain offshore, just passing east of Wilmington, probably within the next 72 hours, and then accelerating and weakening into a tropical depression once again as it moves well south and east. and races north and east from off the coastal waters of southern New England to Nova Scotia during the weekend. Now, this is going to produce high rip current risk along the South Shore and also the North Shore and all of the New Jersey coastal beaches this weekend. It's a big weekend, obviously, because of 4th of July, so you do want to monitor the high risk of rip currents around the beaches during this weekend. Morning East Coast surface map from weatheroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows our southwesterly flow, Bermuda high in place across the region, high precipitable water values. Not a lot of lifting going on in the atmosphere to over our region as we're in a northwest flow, a convergent upper northwesterly flow, which tends to wash out. Some of this precipitation over the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley will get into the region north and west of the region by late tonight, so it's possible that interior sections of southeastern New York, Connecticut, and parts of north of New York City could get a shower or thunderstorm later today. The main feature will be, of course, the moisture increasing with Tropical Depression 1 off the southern Florida coast and this cold front, which will be begrudgingly moving into the region. We have a southwesterly flow, so the winds are parallel at all levels up to about 10,000 feet. That means the front will stall over the region as the convergence between tropical moisture, the strong influx of moisture from off the Atlantic, and the cold front itself and trough access here will be digging into the region to provide numerous waves of showers and thunderstorms across the region on Wednesday and Thursday and into early Friday too. Latest model guidance from the HRR, the High Rapid Refresh model from Penn State's eWall site, shows that shortwave racing across the Ohio River Valley with instability in the atmosphere during the afternoon hours. A broken line of showers and thunderstorms will break out across southeastern New York into Pennsylvania. This line may weaken somewhat as it moves across the region late tonight, but interior sections of southeastern New York and interior Connecticut could see an isolated shower or thunderstorm. The main cluster of showers and thunderstorms will be moving into our region during tomorrow. Surf zone forecast for the New York waters. There is a high risk of rip currents today from Coney Island just to the west of Smith Point. Basically, we're dealing with surf heights around 3 feet in buildings, surf temperatures around 70 degrees. Lightning risk none today. The UVI index is about 9. That's very high. You do want to wear sunscreen. And then a moderate risk of rip currents from Smith Point out to Hither Hills. We're going to have surf around 3 feet. Surf temperatures again around 70. The UVI index very high at around 9. New Jersey surf zone forecast for today: partly sunny, temperatures in the lower 80s, south winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour, seas about 2 to 3 feet every 6 seconds with a southeast swell at 2 to 3 feet, surf temperature 67, UVI index 9. There's a lower risk of rip currents along the New Jersey facing beaches today. However, never swim in unguarded areas. Always have a flotation device and swim in areas where lifeguards are present. The next high tide at Atlantic City at 10:59 this morning, and the next high tide at Rehoboth Beach at 11:11 this morning. High temperatures both today and tomorrow away from the water are going to be in the 90s with the high humidity and high dew points in the air, making heat indexes over or around 100 in the Philadelphia I-95 corridor. So you do mean to drink plenty of fluids today, non-alcoholic, check in on your pets and the elderly, and just take it slow over the next 24 hours as this mini heat wave moves away from the region. But temperatures tomorrow obviously going to still be in the 90s. The only cooling that's going to occur is going to be along the South Shore and the North Shore of Long Island and along the New Jersey facing beaches, where we're going to have sea breezes develop once again during both afternoons. NAM forecast product from Penn State's eWall site, the reflectivity and cloud cover forecast going into the future. The NAM not so brilliantly keen on the idea of showers and thunderstorms for the region north and west of the region during this afternoon. We're going to have a series of disturbances move across as the trough becomes more negatively tilted and the cold front approaches and then begins to stall across the region on Thursday and Thursday afternoon. There'll be numerous showers and thunderstorms around the region. Wednesday looks like a good day for showers and thunderstorms as a shortwave races across the region during the afternoon and evening. Any of these showers and thunderstorms could produce hail and lightning and obviously very heavy drenching downpours, which would cause localized flash flooding and urban flooding of small streams and streets around the region. And then the cold front crosses the region, not seen here. This would be for Thursday afternoon and Thursday night. The cold front will be coming through with numerous showers and thunderstorms across the region once again. GFS maps into motion. High pressure ridge right off the coast here. This Bermuda high pumping in southwesterly flow of air. Here's our upper low, and surface strong low in the polar stream. Here's another one off the coast of south of the Aleutian Islands here. It's a very active polar stream here. Heights continue to fight back in the means across the central and southern mid-Atlantic region from the Mason-Dixon line south because of the high pressure. And then we are also being a little bit more convoluted in the forecast because we have Tropical Depression 1, which could become Tropical Storm Arthur, the first named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season this year, as it races offshore the Carolinas and then becomes a tropical depression once again as it heads towards Nova Scotia over the weekend. In the meantime, the cold front will be approaching the region from the Great Lakes and the Ohio River Valley. The storm system here, Tropical Depression 1, or Arthur, as it's going to be named possibly, will be interacting in such a way that the front will be stalling up across the region on Wednesday. Showers and thunderstorms will become numerous, especially in the heating of the day in the afternoon and evening hours. They may wax and wane a little bit and then increase again once again on Thursday as the cold front and trough become nearly parallel to the flow and very slow moving on Thursday. We're expecting some sort of interaction here between the front itself as it makes its way across the region and slowly off the mid-Atlantic coast states, areas of low pressure, the inflow from the moisture from the trough axis itself, and also Tropical Depression 1 or Arthur interacting across the region with numerous showers and thunderstorms across the region. And this would take us into the 4th of July. And right now, the storm is still forecasted by all model guidance to remain south and east of New Jersey and Long Island and then accelerate rapidly along the cold front as the trough axis moves through and then off the coast. Friday night is going to be a cloudier night. Most of the rain should be east of the region. However, we're going to have lightning displays of our own from not Mother Nature necessarily itself, but from our 4th of July fireworks spectaculars, and we're just going to have to monitor the forecast. But it should be a cloudier night and nonetheless still quite humid across the region. High pressure will be building in, however, over the weekend as the storm departs. High pressure builds across the region over the weekend with pleasant conditions and much drier conditions across the region for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And early next week looks troublesome as well because we have more disturbances as we cut down the ridge axis here and the polar flow becomes a little bit more established, a zonal flow here, and we build more troughing in the eastern United States with frontal boundaries approaching both Wednesday and later in the week means more trouble on the way. So for the very latest information and live feed, Twitter and Facebook, it's Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com. I'll be back bright and early on Wednesday morning with your holiday weekend forecast details, especially for your fireworks displays on Friday night. And your weekend right now is looking spectacular. Keep up with the latest information from both websites, Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a pleasant Tuesday and happy welcoming to July.